Hey guys, I'm Gabe Kutlin. I own Liberty Credit Experts. We are a credit repair company, and this is Bill Curtis with crushyourdebts.com. And we're just going to do a quick little video to kind of tell you what we've been doing with our clients whom have absolutely no derogatory accounts whatsoever, like no late marks, no collection accounts, nothing really that I can attempt to delete off their credit profile. And what I've noticed is that we've had an influx of clients who've had high utilization ratios, completely maxed out credit cards, and I really didn't have much that I could do for them, right? So really the only thing that I could say to them is, Mrs. Jones, you're gonna have to pay off your debts. I'm sorry I can't do it for you, but if you wanted to report accurately on your credit profile, just find out when your statement closing date is, pay your bill before the statement closing date so that it reflects accurate utilization ratios when it reports on your credit profile, right? That was really all that I could do. Then I met Bill, and Bill actually is a lifesaver because he's showing me how I can capitalize on clients that I would otherwise turn away. So we're basically showing clients how to pay off their debts using a whole life insurance policy where they can systematically pay down their debts by accessing the cash value fairly quickly. And Bill has been nothing but helpful with this. Our clients have been able to pay off their credit cards first. Obviously, we all know that revolving credit has a higher impact on FICO than any installment loan will. So what we do is we get the client to start paying off their credit card debts. We get their debt to income ratio where it needs to be. The loan officers love that because now they can issue a pre-qual letter. The real estate agents can start showing properties that they know the client can afford. And then once we get the client into the home, it's a big success story, but now the client has a mortgage, right? They have more debt. So what Bill's able to show my clients what to do is pay off their mortgage in 9 years or less using the same exact financial instrument that got them into that house. So Bill, do you want to tell us a little bit more about how that works? And we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that anybody has. And go right ahead, Bill.
Okay, I met Gabe over a year ago at a networking event, and we met a week or so after that. We had a meeting, and he told me what his problem was. His problem was he tries to help clients so they can buy a house, is usually the case. But the problem is sometimes they come in and there's no, as you guys know, called derogs on
Right.
the statement.
Derogatory accounts. Yeah.
And they just have too much debt. And he kept telling me, well, they want me to pay off their debt. I don't do that.
Yeah.
So what I do is, I'm not a financial advisor. I teach financial literacy. What I mean by that is I show people how they can pay off their debt a lot quicker using their own money. How do we do that? We find money that they're using inefficiently, which is usually they're paying more than the minimums on their credit card, or they're contributing to a retirement plan, and we show them how that's really not helping them. And we use that money to fund a bank. And it's their own bank that they can handle themselves. We teach them how to become their own bank, and by using it, they're able to pay off their debts a lot more quickly. And they have a bank which they can use if they're looking to buy a house. They can use that money in the bank as a down payment, so they can get started with the house. And as Gabe said, once they're in the house, then we can show them how to recycle that mortgage in less than 9 years, rather than paying it for 30 years and paying all that interest.
So Bill, when you say bank, just so people understand exactly what that is, maybe you could do like an explanation of what the banking components are of a life insurance policy, because a lot of people don't know that they actually have banking components to them. And those are the financial instruments that they're using to show the clients how to systematically pay those debts down. So kind of go into a little bit more about how that could work.
Okay, what we use to do this is life insurance. A lot of people, as soon as they hear that it's life insurance, they stick their fingers in their ears, they're not interested. And it's because the life insurance salesman is trying to sell a death benefit to somebody. And a lot of times, they need a death benefit for their family, but it's not their main concern. When I meet with people, their main concern is their debt. So we use what's called a PUA rider. And the PUA rider stands for Paid Up Additions Rider. That's the banking component of life insurance. So you understand it a little better, we call it an overfunded life insurance policy. A small portion of it goes to pay the life insurance. We use the smallest amount of life insurance possible so that we can fund this policy and we can borrow against the cash value, and it all can be done with no tax penalties, and it'll be completely tax free, and your money grows tax deferred. And whenever you use it, there's no cost to using it. That's basically how we do it.
So a lot of you also know me for the student loan space, right? So we've helped clients with consolidating loans, getting their payments lowered, and things of that nature. So student loans is actually a debt that a lot of my clients just try to avoid. They put into forbearance to defer it as long as possible, and then they run out of forbearance, and then they stop paying on it. They get late marks and things of that nature, right? So one of the cool things that we've been doing is we've been actually, consolidating the loans, putting them into income-driven repayment program, lowering their payment from where it originally was, and if they're actively paying their student loan and they're now paying a much lower payment towards that debt, we've actually freed up money that can go towards a premium that can fund a life insurance policy and then use that policy to systematically pay down the student loan debt as well. Right? So not only is it great for revolving lines of credit like credit cards, but also if you have clients that are, really putting effort and money into paying down their student loan debt, this is obviously another vehicle that can be used to help them and use their money more than once, right? And do you want to talk about what it means to use your money more than once?
Yeah, well, what we do is we show people how everyone knows what compound interest is, but essentially they don't understand it from their perspective, because what's happened for most of their life, they understand that they have to pay it. And if they have any kind of debt, whether it's a mortgage, credit card, auto loan, anything that they can pay off, if they don't pay it off at the end of each month when it's due and they carry it over to the next month, they're going to have to pay compound interest. So essentially, when they go to bed at night, when they wake up the next morning, they're poorer than when they went to bed, because compound interest never sleeps. What we show them is how they can use the money that's as the cash value in their life insurance. They never take that money out. So their money is going to compound. It's going to constantly grow, never comes out. What we do is we borrow against it. And by doing that, we can essentially use their money twice, because it's earning interest, but now we've used the money to pay off a debt or a mortgage or an auto loan or whatever they're using it for. Sometimes they just need it to, maybe they need to things for their children to go to school. Well, they can take that money, they can use it, and then when they pay it back, they can pay it back on an unstructured basis. In other words, they're not going to get a bill every month. They're going to pay it when they can. They just have to be disciplined enough to do what they would do ordinarily for a credit card company or a bank. They have to pay them back. Just pay yourself back. And if they do it by adding interest and pay themselves interest just like they would with a credit card, it's only enhancing the money because it's going back in their pocket rather than going away from them to somebody else.
Right. So, it's definitely a topic that everybody should consider and apply to their current business model, because there are some clients that you're going to turn away, right? There's an affiliate program that we have created as well that we can talk to you guys a little bit more about at another video. But I think the first step is to actually see exactly how the process works, look at the numeric values, look at the illustrations, see how debt is actually eliminated using this process and how it ultimately ends up helping your client at the end of the day. We want to make sure that we try to help everybody that calls our office, whether they have derogatories or not. And this is definitely a really cool and innovative concept that has been around since the 80s, right?
Well, it's been around a lot longer, but it was developed in 1980 by a man, R. Nelson Nash, and he came up with the concept of infinite banking.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he did, because he had a lot of real estate loans, and at that time, it was right after Jimmy Carter was president, Ronald Reagan took over, interest rates were at an all-time high of 21%, and he was paying 1.5 points higher than that, so he was at 23% interest. and on $500,000 in loans, he was paying $115,000 in interest charges, and he didn't know how to pay it off. He asked everyone that got him into the real estate, "What do you do?" And they said, "Well, we just sell some of the real estate." But if he did that, he was going to take a bath. Luckily for him, he had a couple life insurance policies, the old life insurance policies. They've been improved over the years, and he borrowed money from the life insurance policies at 5 and 8% to pay off 23% loans. And then he realized, well, this will work for other people. So, that's what we've done. Like Gabe says, he's marketed to have people come in his office, and he hasn't been able to help some of them because, they just have too much debt. And this is an option that they can, if they take the time to understand it, it's an option that you can use and a strategy that you can use to help them. It's kind of like you're out on the golf course and you need a lob wedge, but you don't have it in the bag. So, you either got to hit a pitching wedge or a sand wedge. Well, if you have the lob wedge in there, you've got the club to use. This is just another club in your bag that you can use to help your client, which is the benefit that he's seen is now you have a client that you can help that you normally have to turn away. So when you help them, the initial benefit to you, they're going to tell their friends, "Hey, I went and I spoke to Gabe, and he was able to show me a way that I can pay off my debts. You should go to see him."
Right. So what I really, really loved about it is the fact that the client is actually using their own money, right? So I always avoid anything that's going to hurt my client's credit profile. So consolidation, why would you pay somebody else money to pay your own debts for you, right? Also has an adverse effect on your client's credit profile. Settlement has an adverse effect on your client's credit profile, and obviously bankruptcy. Let's not even go there. That's something that I completely try to avoid. So what really, really attracted me to this system was the fact that the client is using their own money to pay off their own debt, right? And that's really powerful because they're using their own money. They're lowering their debt to income ratio. They're getting qualified for mortgages. They're getting they're buying houses, right? They're paying off their student loans, and even people who I've already helped get into houses. Now Bill can show them how to pay off their mortgage in 9 years or less using the same exact concept. So you can help your client whether they're in a house or whether they're trying to get into the house using this particular system. So I'm really happy that I've integrated it into my business models, and it's been nothing but helpful to my clients. Realtors love it, loan officers love it, and because I've been able to help the clients who had absolutely no derogatory information on their credit profile, they've continued to send me additional clients who have been in this situation because we can help them out with this particular system that has eliminated their debt. So I'm all about crushing your debt. There's tons of debt here in the United States, and I'm really happy that I've met Bill and that I've been working with Bill because it's been nothing but helpful for me and my clients.
And what we've done is we've developed a website together because we do so much business, and it's called crushyourdebts.com. You can go there. There's some videos on there. We keep adding more. There's also a link which we're going to put on the bottom of this video called Calendly. You can just schedule a time that's convenient for you, and it takes half an hour to an hour. I go through, I show you exactly what we do, show you an actual case of a client and how we were able to help them. And you'll see if it makes sense for you, which it should for some of your clients. You now have something you can use. So it's called crushyourdebts.com. And on there will be a link to Calendly, which is my calendar. And we'll also have our phone numbers. We'll run at the end of the video, there'll be a credits list, and we'll have all the information on there. And we'll also attach it to this post.
Yeah, and if any of you as credit repair company owners have any questions, on how it's affected my business, how I look at it from like a credit repair company's perspective, feel free to give me a call. I've already helped a bunch of people understand how it can be integrated into their business model. We brought this subject matter to CreditCon not too long ago, where we presented it. as well, and it's been nothing but awesome, and it has really drawn a lot of attention from our industry, because it's just another tool that's going to help our clients. It's another way for us to build another type of revenue stream, and we'll do another video on that, on how you can capitalize on this particular system, whether it's a referral fee, or whether it's actually commission. And we'll talk a little bit more about that on another video, but just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention and just let you guys know that Bill and I are here to answer any questions that you may have. And if you do have any clients right now that have maxed out credit cards and absolutely no derogatory information whatsoever, let's have a talk to Bill. First, see what Bill does, right? And then he'll show you how it can help your clients, right? Because we're here to help our clients in one way or another, whether it's through credit repair or whether it's just getting them out of debt to a better future, or a better financial future, so to say.
The other thing I want to mention is you can go to the website. We also have a Facebook group.
Yeah, so we just started a Facebook group called Crush Your Debts. It's a closed networking, networking group, I guess, for just credit repair companies, and it's just there for anybody who has any questions, anybody who has an actual client, and anyone who wants additional information, or just be part of the future webinars that we're going to have within that group as well.
Yeah, and you can direct message us with any questions, or you can put your phone number in there if you want us to call.
Yep.
But a lot of times, people will put some information in there that they're requesting, and then when you're ready, you can schedule a time with me. I do the I show everyone what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But from your perspective, from the credit repair perspective, Gabe is really the person that can tell you how it benefited his business.
Yep.
And so he's the guy to ask those questions.
Yep. I'll be the first one to tell you if I like it and if I don't like it, and that's just the honest truth. So definitely put your information below if you want. Send us a messenger message, text us, email us, whatever you want. But definitely take the time to see exactly what this is and how it can help your clients out. So I'm Gabe Kutlin with Liberty Credit Experts.
I'm Bill Curtis with Crush Your Debts.
Thanks so much.
We're here to help you.
Yeah. See you guys later.
All right.
Take
Bye
care.
now.
Bye.